I'm James Karioki, working in the County Department of Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries in Kiambu County. I am stationed in Kiambu Sub-County. I'm here to talk about indigenous chicken farming, where we have a demonstration farm in Kist. Thinking of starting to rear indigenous chicken, there are things which you consider. First of all, you start with the housing. When you consider now constructing the housing for the kienyeji kukus, there are some issues which you must consider to end up with an efficient housing for your indigenous chicken. First of all, you look for the site. The site for your housing must be well drained. It also must be somewhere where it is secure, away from unnecessary noise. And also, the other issues you consider is the security of your birds. You also consider the protection from adverse weather. So, all these points, you must consider them to end up in a good house. The other thing you consider when constructing is the orientation of the house. The wind direction is very important. The open sides should not face the windward side. And you have to consider also the accessibility of your house. Easy to, so that it is easy to bring in the feeds and other requirements. And also easy to supervise or to look at your chickens properly. Then from there, now you consider the materials you are going to use to construct your house. And the materials you use should be the locally available to avoid high expenses in the construction of the poultry house. Examples of the materials you can use is you can use offcuts if you have them. You can also use timber. You can use stones, even mud if it is possible. You can even use the mud for the walls, and also for the roofing to ensure that it is a deterrent to rain. You can use iron sheets, and if you don't have the iron sheets, you can also use polythene paper together with the grass on top. But what is very important is to ensure the materials you use will ensure an efficient housing. Then once you get the materials, then when you come to the construction, you consider also, you have to know the number of birds you are going to house. So the stocking rate is very important, which is for indigenous chicken we use between 5 and 6 birds per meter square. This will allow enough space for your equipment and for the birds to move around. Now for the type of houses, you can have the deep litter system. There is also the slatted floor, where the floor is raised and you have slats. So the droppings of the nene will be dropping down. But in most cases, the deep litter system is the most common. So when constructing, The poultry house has some components. You have the main house itself. You also have the laying boxes. You also have, maybe if it is possible, the roosters for the birds to rest on. But if they are not, if you are unable to supply enough roosters for your poultry, you don't put them. Let them just stay on the ground. And also the other component is now the poultry run, so that you have a place where your cuckoos can be going out to get some insects, greens, and whatever. Now, when constructing, we also consider the issue of ventilation, which is very crucial in poultry. So, when constructing now, you have the sites, and in most cases, like here in Kiambu, mainly you open 2 sites. The other 2 sites are fully blocked because of the climatic conditions. It is not very cold, it is a coffee zone area. So if you open too much, the birds will suffer from a lot of cold. So in the front side, you open about 3 feet, where you put the wire mesh and also the chicken wire on top. This will enable the security of your birds, so that the rats, wild birds, cats, and whatever, all the wild animals which eat the cuckoos will not access your house. So at the back side, you also open about 1.5 feet. So this will allow a free flow of air. Then the other 2 sides, where the weeds come from, that side you block it completely. Then the roof, you ensure you use materials which will not allow any water to go through the house. Then the floor, if it is deep litter system, you can have it concrete or earth. The concrete one is better to maintain proper hygiene when it comes to washing. But if it is not concrete, it is just earth, then you require to take measures for when the birds, when you are disinfecting, you have to be very careful, because to ensure that you disinfect all the places. Then on the floor, you also use what we call the litter. The litter is you can either use the wood shavings or dry grass which is cut into, or whichever material you have, but it has to be dry, because the litter will help in absorbing excess moisture and also breaking the feces of the poultry. Then when you come to the laying boxes, you allow the individual, mostly the indigenous chicken, we allow the individual laying nests, where a single bird lays at a time. So the size of that one laying nest is about 1 foot by 1 by 1.5. That's the height 1.5, and the size 1 foot by 1. Then you can use on top, you can use a mabati iron sheet, the flat iron sheet, or you can use hard boots, but should be inclined at a steep angle, so that the birds will not be resting there on top, because when they rest on the top of the laying boxes, they will serve the laying boxes. Also inside the boxes, you have to ensure you put some wood shavings, clean, dry wood shavings, so that the eggs you produce from there are clean. In the front, you can use a gunny bag, the size of bag, which you cut into to make the laying nest dark. Otherwise, if they allow a lot of light inside, there will be that will encourage egg eating and pecking. The other birds will be pecking the birds which are inside when they are laying. So the laying boxes should also be raised about 1 to 1.5 feet from the floor, and you put a resting a tiba or maybe a fito where the birds can rest. They can rest before they enter the laying boxes, so that they don't just fly right inside the frying boxes. I mean the laying boxes. The other thing you consider within the house, the poultry house, is the arrangement of your equipment. You have the feeders and you have the waterers. So the best way to arrange your feeders is to have maybe a feeder, then you have a waterer, a feeder, a waterer, so that once the birds eat, they access water easily. One side is supposed to be open, that's the front side, and it's supposed to be not less than 3 feet. Also, you ensure it is it is rat proof. No rats can enter there. So it's supposed to be secure with the proper locking system to ensure your birds are safe. The entrance, you put the food bag where you put a disinfectant, so that anybody entering the poultry house, you disinfect his or her feet to ensure disease control is effective. Ensure the door opens from the outside to make sure it does not kill birds within the house, and also it does not interfere with the space within inside the house. So also the door should have enough height so that whoever is working in the poultry house will not have his or her head hit by the rear side. We open about 1.5 feet to ensure entry of fresh air. And the arrangement of the feeding equipment, you interchange. You have a feeder and a waterer. Feeder, waterer, so that the birds can eat and they don't go a long distance to look for water. And also in between you can hang your greens for your indigenous chicken. This one is the resting roost. It's the rooster for the indigenous chicken to rest on. This one is for the indigenous chicken to rest on, either at night or during the day when they are resting. And when you construct this one, you put the tires, the weights. This is in accordance with the pecking order. The kings and queens will rest at the top, the middle class at the middle, and the lower ones at the lowest part of the rooster. This is the outlet to the poultry run. So the cuckoos will go through here and come back through here. So during the day it is left open to access the poultry run.
Okay.
So these are the laying nests, and for the laying nests, there is a bar where the hen will first of all rest before entering the laying nest. The laying nest must be dark, kept dark. So this gunny bag is helping to the nest to be kept dark. Also, it must be clean with wood shavings, dry and clean, so that the eggs will remain clean. And also it will help the eggs not to break. Also, the covering of the laying nest must be sloping to discourage birds from resting here, so that does not become very dirty. This is the poultry run, which is open and made of the chain link. The purpose of the poultry run is to make sure the birds get access greens, grasses, and whatever, and also the insects which fly inside here. The birds can eat them. They can also get sunshine, and they can rest outside here.